Hello, I'm NP. I wondered what would fit best for the Xmas holiday, and I concluded that I will make a short review about a quite remarkable project. As you ended up watching this video, perhaps you know that I'm a huge fan of Commodore 64, the old 8-bit computer from the 80s. These days it may be quite complicated and expensive to get a working machine with all the peripheries and stuff. If you are interested in its massive game base and you don't have access for a real machine, then it's more convenient to use some emulator that runs under Windows, iOS, Android, Linux, you name it. Actually, my very first video on this channel was like a short WinVice review, an emulator that is able to run games and has multi-platform versions. But for players who are interested in gaming only and don't have old-school computer experience, maybe it's a little complicated. Not exactly click and play, so to say. But this one is. A guy called Krissz, well, a different Krissz from Krissz.hu, of course, who writes reviews on this channel. Our Krissz doesn't know how to program, but this actual Krissz I'm talking about has created an online C64 emulator. Again, he programmed an online Commodore 64 emulator. Wow! For the moment it's recommended for Chrome and Firefox users, but I think it works on others like Opera and Edge, of course, because it's Chrome basically, using the same engine. So, playing Commodore 64 games has never been easier. You just click on the link in the video description below, click on the game that you want to play, and that's it. There are a quite impressive set of games that have been tested. But anyway, if you have different D64 or PRG files, you know, these Commodore 64 images, then you can experiment with your own files as well. There is a standalone emulator on this great retro site as well. In the toolbar on the bottom you can have access to all the settings. From left to right, I shows the manual of the actual game, if available. Wow. The ring restarts the game. The next one is quite familiar, I think. You can stop the emulator anytime and run again. The rocket icon will show you the massive collection of games. 350 maybe? Around the middle you can configure your input devices, just like keyboard, gamepad, and you can also switch joystick ports. You know, the Commodore 64 had 2 ports. You know, back in time that was multiplayer. On the bottom right you can find all the display and the sound settings. And that's all about it, really. It's so nicely designed that everything can be figured out in 30 seconds at maximum. Oh, by the way, and there is a heart icon that brings you to a site where you can support the creator. I think Krissz absolutely deserves it because it's a wonderful little online C64 emulation. And to my knowledge, it's the easiest way to play Commodore 64 games, just instantly, regardless of your platform. So, c64.krissz.hu. Go and play! This online Commodore 64 emulation called TY64 is amazing. And don't forget to support the creator, because this guy absolutely deserves it. So, NP out. See you somewhere in time, in 2024.